There's a quiet moment that happens to a lot of us somewhere after 70. You catch your reflection while tying your shoes, or while reaching up for a mug in the kitchen cupboard, and you think, my arms used to look a bit fuller than this. Maybe it's not vanity, it's just noticing. The strength that once came without asking now whispers before it moves. And for many seniors across Europe, whether it's in a small flat in Lisbon, a cozy cottage in Kent, or an apartment overlooking the Danube, that whisper feels all too familiar. But here's the thing. That story doesn't have to end with, I guess I'm just getting old. Because science has uncovered something remarkable. Something small, humble, and probably already hiding in your kitchen. Not a powder in a shiny tub. Not a pill with a list of ingredients you couldn't pronounce if you tried. No, we're talking about seeds. Tiny seeds with a protein punch that, study by study, are starting to rival or even surpass the power of eggs for building muscle after 70. Yes, you heard that right. Seeds. Those crunchy little bits you might sprinkle over yogurt without a second thought could actually become your secret weapon for rebuilding strength and keeping your body younger, longer. So, grab a cup of tea herbal if you're feeling fancy and let's get into it. Let's start with a simple truth. After the age of 40, your body starts losing roughly 1 to 2% of muscle mass every year. By 70, that can add up to a lot. Scientists call it sarcopenia, but you and I just call it, why do these stairs feel taller? And while exercise, especially resistance training, is critical, nutrition plays an equally powerful role. Your muscles are like a high-end repair crew. They can't rebuild without the right materials. And that's where protein steps in. Now, for decades, eggs were seen as the gold standard of protein. Every chart, every diet plan, every gym trainer, it was eggs, eggs, eggs. Scrambled for breakfast, boiled in salads, fried in the mornings while the toast pops. But the problem? As we age, our digestion changes. The ability to break down and fully absorb animal proteins weakens a little. Older adults often experience slower muscle protein synthesis, meaning your body just doesn't turn food into muscle as efficiently anymore. Enter seeds, tiny marvels of nature that might just level the playing field. Let's begin with sunflower seeds. Imagine the warmth of an Italian summer, golden fields of sunflowers turning their faces to the sun. Inside those blooms lies one of the most nutritionally dense seeds in the world. Sunflower seeds are rich in a type of protein that contains all 9 essential amino acids. Yes, complete protein. And here's the twist. Studies published in European nutrition and aging journals have shown that the amino acid leucine, critical for muscle repair and growth, is particularly abundant in sunflower seeds. In practical terms, that means a handful of sunflower seeds can spark your body's muscle switch just as effectively as a boiled egg. The best part? They're easier to digest and leave you feeling light, not sluggish. Sprinkle them on your salad, blend them into seed butter, or toss a spoonful into your morning porridge. That's strength, spooned in quietly but powerfully. Next up, sesame seeds. Now, sesame might make you think of burger buns or little toppings on breadsticks, but don't underestimate these ancient beauties. For over 3,000 years, sesame has been part of traditional diets all across Asia and the Mediterranean. For seniors, sesame seeds bring more than just protein. They pack magnesium, which supports muscle contraction and nerve communication, and zinc, a mineral that helps repair damaged tissue. 1 tablespoon delivers enough zinc to rival a small serving of meat. And here's the kicker. Scientists recently found that older adults who regularly consume magnesium and zinc have a significantly higher grip strength compared to those who don't. Grip strength might sound trivial until you realize it's directly linked to overall functional longevity. The strength to continue cooking, gardening, or holding a grandchild securely in your arms. So yes, that light sprinkle of sesame over your stir-fry? That's actually a strength exercise in disguise. Then we meet flax seeds, the quiet achievers of the seed world. Flax doesn't shout for attention. It's small, brown, and humble-looking. But inside, it hides a unique combination of plant-based omega-3s, called ALA, protein, and fiber. Omega-3s are your anti-inflammatory defenders. When you lift a bag of groceries or bend to pick something up, tiny microtears occur in your muscle fibers, normal, healthy even, but they need proper nutrients to repair. A balanced intake of omega-3s speeds up that recovery, keeping your muscles resilient instead of stiff and sore. Flax seeds also contain lignans, special plant compounds that support hormonal balance. And since muscle loss in older adults often correlates with hormonal shifts, this tiny brown seed becomes quite the ally. Ground flax seeds stirred into morning yogurt or blended into soup. That's like sending your muscles a thank you note after a long day. Now for a personal favorite, pumpkin seeds. Picture an autumn kitchen somewhere in Prague. Vera, 74, peels open a pumpkin to make soup for her grandchildren. The seeds, she used to toss them away. Until her doctor told her, "Vera, do you realize those are one of the best sources of natural protein and iron you can find?" She started roasting them with a touch of olive oil and salt. Later that winter, her energy improved. Her evening walks grew longer. Coincidence? Possibly not. Pumpkin seeds, sometimes called pepitas, are loaded with protein, almost 30 grams per cup, and they also deliver zinc, iron, magnesium, and antioxidants. But what truly makes them stand out is tryptophan, an amino acid that supports better sleep. Why does that matter? Because your body builds muscle not in the gym and not while you're chewing, it builds muscle while you sleep. So, a better night's rest means stronger mornings. Funny how life works, isn't it? Hemp seeds deserve their own standing ovation. They're often misunderstood because of their name, but hemp seeds contain no psychoactive compounds, so you can safely snack and stay clear-headed. What they do offer is one of the most balanced sources of plant protein on the planet. More than 30% protein content, complete amino acid profile, and special fatty acids that reduce inflammation in muscles and joints. A 2019 study from Germany compared older adults using whey protein versus hemp protein over 12 weeks of light resistance exercise. The hemp group had nearly the same increase in lean muscle, but with less bloating and digestive discomfort. That's huge, especially since digestion gets more delicate as we age. Sprinkle them over soup, blend them into a smoothie, or eat them right off the spoon, no judgment. Your body will thank you quietly, maybe by letting you climb stairs without gripping the railing quite so hard. And finally, chia seeds. Tiny, black and white, as if they were designed by nature's minimalist artist. But behind that simple appearance hides serious nutritional force. Chia is 20% protein and swells up when soaked, forming that signature gel. This not only keeps you full but also slows digestion, allowing amino acids to enter your muscles gradually, steadily, like a time-release repair mechanism. They're also rich in calcium, 5 times more than milk, which is critical for muscle contraction. Without sufficient calcium, signals from your nerves to your muscles don't fire efficiently. Plus, chia holds more antioxidants than most fruits. Scientists believe regular chia intake supports better mitochondrial function, that's your cell's energy center. Meaning you don't just maintain muscle, you keep energized muscles. Imagine eating something so soft yet building power from it. There's poetic justice in that, isn't there? Now, let's step back for a moment and look at the bigger picture. Seeds aren't magical in some fairy tale sense. They're magical because they combine simplicity and science so elegantly. They're small, affordable, and accessible to almost any household budget. In a time when flashy supplements charge $20 a tub, these humble seeds quietly sit in bulk bins, waiting for discovery. For seniors on fixed incomes across Europe, that means regaining strength doesn't need to cost a fortune. You don't need the newest powder or brand name shake. You need real food that your body understands. And here's a fun truth to smile about. Eating a bowl of Greek yogurt mixed with these 6 seeds could give you nearly the same protein boost as 2 eggs, plus fiber, minerals, and healthy fats that eggs can't offer. Let's blend a little practicality with science now. How to actually use these seeds for muscle health. You could start simple. Make what some people call the seed blend. Mix equal parts sunflower, sesame, flax, pumpkin, hemp, and chia seeds. Store them in an airtight jar. Each morning, 2 tablespoons of this mix can go into your porridge, yogurt, smoothie, or even salad dressing. For an evening snack, toast them lightly in a pan. No oil needed, just a few minutes of dry heat, until you hear that faint crackle sound. Then sprinkle them over soups or vegetables for an earthy crunch. Consistency matters more than quantity. Your muscles respond best to routine, to daily nourishment, not sporadic feasts of protein. Think of it like watering a plant. It thrives when fed in small, regular doses. Now, let's connect this science back to the heart, because health is never just about nutrients and numbers. When 71-year-old Henrik from Denmark started eating a mix of flax, pumpkin, and chia seeds every day, he didn't notice a dramatic change overnight. But within a couple of months, something shifted. He told his wife one morning, "You know, I carried that grocery bag up the stairs today without stopping to rest halfway. That's not marketing. That's biology meeting patience." And Maria, a retired violin teacher in Spain, shared how she and her friends turned seed night into a weekly ritual. Every Friday, they'd sit together, share seed recipes, and talk about everything from music to grandchildren. She laughed, saying, "We're like a group of superheroes, but our superpower is sprinkling seeds on everything." Moments like these remind us that nutrition isn't just about feeding our bodies. It's about feeding our stories, our hope, our humor. Now, let's talk about something we don't often discuss in health videos: emotion. There's often a quiet fear that comes with aging. The fear of becoming weaker, of losing independence, of becoming a burden. That fear can sit heavy, even if we don't say it out loud. But here's the truth. Every small, steady choice toward nutrition and movement chips away at that fear. Seeds are a metaphor for that. They begin tiny, barely noticeable, but with consistency, they grow strength from the inside out. Just like you can. And isn't that beautiful? The very thing that helps you rebuild muscle is itself a symbol of growth, resilience, and quiet power. Science agrees. Recent European studies have shown that older adults who consume a plant-based variety of protein sources, not just relying on animal protein, experience slower muscle decline and better metabolic health. Part of this may be due to the antioxidant and anti-inflammatory properties in seeds, which protect not only muscle but also cardiovascular and brain health. This is not about replacing eggs entirely. It's about adding tools to your toolbox. Think of seeds as your new team members working alongside classic sources like fish, dairy, legumes, and yes, the occasional egg. But here's the exciting part. Plant proteins also come with fiber, healthy fats, and phytochemicals that animal proteins simply don't offer. So in a way, you're nourishing your body and your longevity. Of course, muscle growth doesn't happen from food alone. Pair these seeds with some resistance exercise, a daily walk carrying light weights, a few squats at the kitchen counter, or gentle Pilates at home. Movement tells your muscles they're needed. Protein provides the building blocks. Together, they create progress no supplement company can bottle. And remember, you don't need to chase your younger self. You're not rebuilding the same body you had at 30. You're building one for your 70s, strong, dependable, and joyful in its own right. Now, if we zoom in for a final thought, let's imagine something simple. Tomorrow morning, as you reach for your breakfast, you add a spoonful of those seeds to your bowl. Later that week, you notice your posture straightening a little while walking to the market. A few weeks later, you lift that pot of soup more easily. That's not magic. That's consistent care paying quiet dividends. Tiny seeds, massive change. So, as we wrap this up, remember this: your body hasn't retired from growth. It only needs the right invitation. And these seeds? They're that invitation. Polite, powerful, and waiting patiently in your cupboard. Choose nourishment over neglect. Choose curiosity over resignation. And maybe, next time you notice your reflection, you'll think, "Ah, there you are. Stronger than you were last summer." If this message resonated, share it with a friend who deserves to feel strong again. Because wisdom grows when passed on, and so does health. Here's to your strength, your patience, and your next small handful of seeds. Stay well, stay wise, and let every bite remind you you're still building.
Hold up, if you care about your health, don't skip this. Healthy Buddy's top picks are Here Clean. Trusted products that help you feel better every day. More energy, better sleep, stronger you. Check them out now, your body will thank you.